Warning: the following program is of a graphic and sometimes obscene nature and should not be viewed by anyone. I mean, really, come on. The views and opinions of the producer, Todd Graham, do not reflect the views of SATV, MySpace.com, or any other venue this program will be showing. Todd means everything in good fun and should not be taken seriously unless otherwise stated. And to anyone who has any personal problem with Todd or his show, is advised to go fuck themselves. Viewers' discretion is advised.
Get yourself a bag of popcorn and a soda, else it doesn't work, and sit back and watch my show and relax. And I hope you enjoy it. And if you don't, well, fuck you. You're gonna be the same people that complained about the last episode, so get ready for more shit.
Got your voice.
You see, it's that. And guess what, boys and girls? The pizza crust is still good, too.
Maybe it would be wise to get your children away from the television for once and change the fucking channel.
Certainly know what today is. Such a wonderful day. I'm dressed to the nines. I've got a suit. I don't have a tie, but I've got a suit. And you know what this week is? After several weeks of rigorous promotion, tonight, the world premiere. The Goodnight Movie. Years in the making. It's time for the Goodnight Movie. And I'm going to the Hollywood premiere. The Hollywood premiere. A multi-million-dollar picture we're talking about here. Fantastic. It's going to go through the roof. And hey, if there's any hot little women, over at the Hollywood premiere, not only am I dressed nice and I look beautiful, but if any of the girls at the party think I'm attractive and they dig me, they want to go home with me in my limousine, they want to go home with me, all they have to do is look at me and they know the deal. You know what I'm saying? All right. So tonight, it's Goodnight Movie night. I can't believe it. But before we get to the Goodnight Movie premiere, we're going to go to a short commercial break. I know, it's only been 3 minutes or less. Angie, if you're watching, don't say anything. Anyway, after this commercial break, which, by the way, will contain the Goodnight Movie trailer for one final showing, after this commercial break, we're going to go back in time with a retrospective of The Goodnight Guy. Yeah, that's right. We're going to go back and we're going to see all 3 original sketches. And then, the premiere. And then after the premiere, to keep you people watching, outtakes, extras, DVD behind the scenes crap. That's right. Crap! It's more stuff for the show! So what's going to happen is, we're going to go to that commercial break and we're going to continue the show afterwards.
In the year 2007, the United States of America has fallen to a much darker place than before. The stock market is crashing, the once booming economy is now in the toilet, celebrities have replaced the clergy in the world of worship.
and our once great society of laws and structure is fading fast. We're desperate for a way to bring peace back to this once great nation. We're in desperate need of a solution. And most of all, this nation needs a reason to survive. We need hope. We need help. We need a leader. And there's only one man who can restore balance to this once great nation.
Hello! Hello again! It's my Goodnight friends! I missed all of you. I hope you missed me.
The Goodnight Guy is back, and he's back to ask the hard-hitting questions.
How much would it cost for you to take them up?
He knows exactly what it takes to bring this nation back to its once proud stature.
Just go with me on this, go with me on this. I'll pay you, I'll pay you.
And he's got one mission in mind.
I take my foot and I mash corned beef hash into your vagina.
The Goodnight Guy. Movie. Coming soon to Simonetti Television.
Gummy worms. What is this? No. You want a real snack, all right? You go out to your store as soon as you possibly can and get yourself a Goodnight ice cream cone. A Goodnight ice cream cone is a lot like a Good Morning ice cream cone, only it happens at night. And what you do is you go through looking for the good ice cream. You see, this is not good ice cream. That is Good Morning ice cream. What I want is Good Night ice cream. So this is where you dig down deep for the Good Night ice cream. See, it didn't want to fit in the cone, so we gotta smush it in a little. Now, like I said, I think it's about time that you go out and get yourself a Good Night ice cream. I remember I brought up something about a Good Night ice cream cone. That's right. But if you really want something special, something that I myself approve of entirely, it's a Good Night ice cream pie. Oh yeah, it's a mixture of all the wonderful things that makes Good Night ice cream as good as it gets. But the only way you can do it is if you eat the cone down to this exact shape. You must eat the cone down to this exact shape with this much ice cream inside of it, or else it doesn't work. So we go into the fridge and we get ourselves some Good Night milk. Good Night milk, of course, is different from Good Morning milk because different color caps. So what you do is you pour just enough Good Night milk into the thing. But this is where the pie gets interesting. You get the Good Night ginger ale. And for Good Night ginger ale to work, you need to pour just enough into the milk to get it bubbly, you know? Into the ginger ale and Good Night milk concoction, and the thing that makes it so good is the fact that you've got to eat it with a fork. I bet you're thinking to yourself, all this talk about Goodnight ice cream and Goodnight ice cream pie and all that stuff, you know, it seems to be going only on ice cream. But Goodnight other things exist. Goodnight other things exist, including pizza, sandwiches, and even women. So, what we're going to do is demonstrate yet another Good Night activity that you can do at home. Take pizza crust when you're done eating the pizza. What you do is, with a ballpoint pen, ballpoint only, with a ballpoint pen, stick it from the top all the way down to the bottom. Motherfucker. You see? See? It pops out the end. Now, boys and girls, what I'm about to do is a lot of fun. Try it at home. So once you've gotten the pizza hole right through the crust, then you must suit up. Because unless you suit up, it doesn't work. So what you need to do is get yourself a fine blue and black flannel, like I have, right here. And what you must do is put it on your head. You see, it's just this simple. You put it on your head, and then what you do is put it behind your ears. Behind your ears helps. It helps. Then you take the sleeves of a light blue and black flannel. And then what you do is put it in front of you like you're a preppy, up and over like you're tying a tie, and then it's just as simple as that. Tighter for better results. All you have to do is venture and be quiet because it's good night activity and everybody's sleeping at night. Turn on the light to your bathroom or else it won't work. You walk in. Now what you gotta do is take the hood down, and take the pizza crust and a towel for later. Take the pizza crust and you put it inside of your mouth like so. And breathe normally. Now, the next part of the thing is the whole fun of the game. Watch closely. What you do is you take the crust, put it in your mouth like so, with the hood down, or else it doesn't work, and enjoy an easy swim. This is good night swimming. You see, it's just as easy as that. And guess what, boys and girls? The pizza crust is still good, too. Good night.
Memories. And to think, that was only 5 years ago. And 5 years later, I'm doing a fucking movie! Going from sticking my head in a goodnight toilet into sticking my head into a goodnight woman's pussy. I think I've come a long way in the last 5 years. So, without any further ado, here on Simonetti Television, I give you the premiere, the debut of what will soon be a cult classic. Ladies and gentlemen, Goodnight Women.
Good night, friends. How's it been, kids? It's been a long time. It's been about 2 years for me. I missed all of you. I hope you missed me. Walk with me. Venture. Because it's a good night activity. Everybody's got to be sleeping at night. In the summertime, it gets really hard for the good night guy for me because it gets lighter and it stays lighter for longer. So, unless it's dark, most of this doesn't work. But today, we might actually have an exception. Walk with me. This is the point. So, the oncoming Good Night game has got to be played with safety. Always safety first. But only this way, or else it doesn't work. So, we're venturing. And I remember a couple years ago, or a couple of episodes ago, depending on when you've seen this before, I talked about Goodnight ice cream, and Goodnight ice cream pie, and even Goodnight swimming. But other things do exist, like I mentioned. and one of them was Goodnight Women. Now, what I'm gonna try and do, folks, is find myself a Goodnight Woman. Goodnight Women, of course, are also known as Ladies of the Night. But you can't call them anything else or it doesn't work. So what we're gonna do is, we're gonna venture, and we're gonna try and find one who's a teenager in, way over her head. Come with me. I believe I see one down at the end of the street. Now, folks, it's been a long time, and we have to think with our inside voices. Because if we don't think with our inside voices, it doesn't work. Inside voices, of course, are, don't say the first thing that comes to mind. Always be gentle, always be courteous, and always be respectful. So remember this when you go out and try to do this upcoming game. So, we're gonna venture. There's one now, as we've seen. At least I think she certainly fits the description of a Goodnight Woman. Well, like I said, we have to use our inside voices. So we have to be polite and we have to be courteous. Hello. Hi. Hi. Well, you look like who I'm looking for. I have a question, though. Okay. Like I said, be polite. How much would it cost for you to take a muffin? You know, just like... I don't know how to describe it. When in the worst situations, think of another idea. Okay. What if you and I got a hotel room, right? Just go with me on this, I'll pay you. How about we get a hotel room? And what we do is, we get completely naked, and I take my foot, and I mash corned beef hash into your vagina. What do you think? How much? She's very hesitant. The little one is scared. What do you think?
No hotel rooms.
Excuse me?
No hotel rooms.
Who are you?
Jerome.
Well, Jerome, she doesn't seem to be willing to take the corned beef hash idea. Could you help me out?
How much money you got?
This is where the Goodnight protection comes in. I'm not telling you shit until you give me numbers. Polite. Please.
You got $50.
Yeah, I have $50. They're whispering. It means they're coming up with some shit that they don't want to tell me out loud. We're gonna do it? Yeah. All right. I like to use my heel a lot. Kind of like a knuckle, but... You know. Okay. This is where it gets fun. But unfortunately, I have to leave you folks here. So, until next time, good night. Hello again. I'm here with the Goodnight Woman, or Lady of the Night, as they say. You can't call them anything else, or else it doesn't work. And we're here trying to find corned beef hash. So where would one find corned beef hash? Maybe we might have to find a substitute for corned beef hash. I don't know. Do you think a Goodnight Woman's crotch would go best with Worcestershire? No. Yeah, A1. Not even A1. Cheap A1, or else it doesn't work. If there's anything that I could compare a Goodnight Woman's twat to, it's a cheap steak. But that's for another day and another time and another story for another human being that used to date me. Don't you have an opinion, Goodnight Woman? I'm not paying you to think. Olives. How about olives? What do you think? How about dill pickles? How about bumblebee tuna? Yeah. We could do... This is pretty cheap. We could do like 18 cans of bumblebee tuna. No. What do you think? Corned beef hash, huh? This is the part of the game that's really fun. And since it's a good night activity, we have to be quiet. Well, me. I don't think she's gonna be. So, go along. Go right along. I'll be there in a moment. I encourage all of you children out there to participate in Goodnight Women as soon as you can find or purchase corned beef hash. Good night. What you gotta do is, in place of my hand, would be a foot. So what you would do is you take the corned beef hash like so, like I had on my foot, and smoosh it in a little, right? Try to use your heel as much as you can, right? And when it's all done, there's no mess because it's all inside with the muffler.
So I sing you to sleep after the loving with a song I just wrote yesterday. And I hope you can hear what the words and the music have to say.
I will not accept blowjobs for Resi. I advise you call someone else. So I'm not interested. No. I'll call you back. What? $3. And you hash motherfuckers.
Good night.
Thanks for taking me on a one-way trip to the sun. And thanks for turning me into someone. So I sing you to sleep after the loving.
Goodnight Movie. Again, initially a joke on one. It was actually supposed to end before the end of the first act, which would have been right before going to the grocery store, because we didn't have corned beef hash. We thought the joke was going to end at, okay, now the viewer understands that what's being implied is I'm going to go plow this broad's twat with a fucking corned beef hash in the heel of my foot. But that's not how it turned out. Thankfully, we had a car that day, so we could go down to like Crosby's and get something. Can I say Crosby's on this? Well, before we got the corned beef hash, we had a moment where we actually called the Jerome, Jesse Eppers, the pimp character, actually called home to see if he had corned beef hash at home, so we could save some money. You know.
I got a customer that wants some corned beef hash. Are you still filming?
Yeah. You said we should film it.
Oh, we gotta film everything.
Yeah.
Get the skull in the car. I don't know why I have it, but...
What?
Tobe or not Tobe? That is truly the question.
Hello.
Hey,
Good night.
where are you? Can you do me a huge favor? Can you go downstairs and check if we have any corned beef hash?
As Jesse had pointed out, there was a skull in his car for some reason. It was just this giant ceramic skull. And we were like, okay, so the first ending, which is now being referred to as the alternate ending, was filmed. And it was clear. Well, there's a reason why it's an alternate ending, because it sucked. In the instructional video portion of the movie, where I show how to properly use the corned beef hash, there was an armoire out on the street because the people next door were moving in, and they happened to leave that on the sidewalk long enough for us to fuck with it. So, if you can see this and that piece of furniture wound up in your house, I'm sorry, but at least you know how it got there now. Whoops. Hey, I thought it was a good movie. I thought it was brilliant. I really did. Whether I believe this now or before or after the lawsuit remains to be seen. But I hope you did enjoy it, and I hope you will come back and watch Simonetti TV again and again and again and again and again, since it'll be available on MySpace and YouTube. And I will leave you tonight with the final words from the Goodnight Guy movie shoot.
Corned Beef Hash, the movie, came up as another Goodnight Guy sketch, and we got lucky to have a couple more cast members for the show that day. And, well, it all started when the cameraman, Senior Dark Lord, here, if you could introduce yourself.
Hello.
Senior Dark Lord, he went to the amazing adult super book porno place where they sell helmets with the dicks coming out the top, right? He went to that place and he saw in the fetish section corned beef hash porn. You want to tell him about it, Ryan, real quick?
Yeah. I think you just told him.
Okay, I told the whole story.
Yeah, there's something to tell now.
We got the corned beef hash porn, and we saw this, and we're like, this is a great idea. I think the Goodnight Guy could do something with corned beef hash porn. So we got Jesse. Jesse luckily came along with our Goodnight woman, and and we filmed corned beef hash. It had a very unique look to it. I'm very happy about that. What do you think, Jess?
I think it was brilliant.
I agree.
So, as notoriety, I'm going to take this envelope that, if you remember, had the Goodnight $3 in it, and a little bit of my blood as a souvenir. We're all going to sign this sucker, commemorating... on the hat, by the way.
Yeah.
It doesn't fit you.
Okay, now the silliness is out. We're going to sign this and commemorate the end of a great shoot. You'll be happy for many in the future, and I hope that Jerome will come back, or Jesse will come back and reprise his role as Jerome. In upcoming episodes of the show. And now, the most important signature of them all, the corned beef slut. Okay, corned beefy. You should take this pen, try not to lose it in anywhere slick, and sign the envelope. Corned beef slut. Slut, slut! She's sitting right there, and I'm yelling at the camera. Alright! Now it's a... Ah! Alright, we got one more. If it wasn't for him, it wouldn't be possible to have done this. So, Mr. Lord, you can sign that for me. Fan-fucking-tastic. So, I hope you enjoyed the show tonight. And if you didn't... No, you're supposed to say, fuck you! Okay. So, if you enjoyed the show tonight, come back next week and enjoy yet another show.
Upside down.
I'm upside... Oh. Hello. Hello, my good night friends. I hope you enjoyed the show tonight, because if you didn't, it doesn't work. So, come back next week where I will return in some other outlandish fucking skit for the show. Good night.